Hello everyone, today I am looking at Zone of the Enders 2, the second runner. Yeah, I tried really to say something about this game before, like looking into this, but there's really not much to say about it that hasn't already been said about Zone of the Enders 1. Fundamentally, the gameplay has not really changed. It's a lot more fluid now. The only big real change is that there are a lot more sub-weapons now for Jehudi to use. And even from a story perspective, it's even not that super interesting. I mean, it looks very, looks flashier, a lot better. I mean, combat is swifter. And again, you have a lot more sub-weapons like homing missiles and this giant like laser cannon and stuff like that that looks really cool. But not all of them are super useful or practical for most missions. And honestly, your basic attacks are more than efficient for taking out most enemies. So it's kind of like, all right. On the story, you play as Dingo, a ex-pilot who essentially is now working a mining job on one of the moons surrounding Saturn, or Jupiter rather. And so essentially he's going on this mining mission, and he uncovers, a buried Jehudi mech. And so once he gets inside it, he was earlier, I think, betrayed or something by this corporation. And so the corporation that is looking for it is now hunting him down and basically saying, oh, we're going to, kill you and then take the robot. And again, they're basically after Ada, the AI. And so you basically just have to fight against, these other ex-pilots and these, master or aces, pilots that are trying to take you out. And so it's your skill now and Jehudi against their armed force. And that's pretty much the whole game. There's like some twists as to Anubis and how he's back and stuff like that, but yeah, there's really not much I found to say here. One interesting thing is that even though Kojima was the producer on this game, he was not the director to intentionally give it a different feel. So this feels a little bit more like Armored Core, like they're just really focusing on the gameplay rather than the mood or the tone or the theme. And honestly, when I beat this game, I almost completely forgot about it. I almost was like, okay, that was an experience, I guess. I mean, the gameplay in terms of mech gameplay is pretty advanced. It's fairly good, I suppose, if not very simplified. But yeah, I never had a moment in this game where like, oh, that was really cool, or that was different, or that was really intense. And they were talking about giant mechs fighting each other, but like after the first few minutes, that pretty much becomes very standard procedure, and most things die in one or two hits basically. So again, not a lot of very memorable moments in this game. Very similar to Zone of the Enders 1, if not less story and less concepts essentially. Just a bit more like, again, gameplay. You're just doing more of the same basically. And there are new characters who are fine, and Dingo, he's okay, but nothing really stands out. And yeah, this was like the last Zone of the Enders game, probably because it kind of had a kind of mid review, a mid score. Again, the only thing that's really different between this one and the first one is that instead of penalizing you for destroying, civilian encampments or whatever, it's now totally focused on combat. So, you're scored based on how many enemies you kill and how fast you killed them. And again, you have a lot more sub-weapons to dish out damage. But yeah, I felt this was more of a step backwards in terms of just like, hey, here's more gameplay, less story, less lore, less aesthetic and feeling and whatever, and just, just combat. And yeah, I didn't really super enjoy this, and like I said, I basically forgot about it as soon as I finished it. But yeah, that's pretty much Zone of the Enders 2. Not much else to say about it. Bye.